Carbon in the global ecosystem. Scientists around the world who study Earth's atmosphere have discovered something dramatic and alarming: an increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. They are finding that the increase in carbon dioxide in our atmosphere may have worldwide effects on our climate and our oceans, which can threaten life all over the planet. Where there is the carbon that makes up, where is the carbon that makes up all that carbon dioxide coming from? Carbon is an element that makes up a lot of the matter on Earth. New carbon can't be created, so the extra carbon in our atmosphere had to come from somewhere, but it must have decreased in some other part of the Earth system. But where? Humans put carbon into the atmosphere when we burn fuels like coal, oil, and gas that are found deep underground. These are called fossil fuels. These fossil fuels make the modern human lifestyle possible. Most of the time, when we use a cell phone, drive a car, heat our homes, or turn on the lights, we are using energy that comes from burning fossil fuels. We currently depend on these fuels to power our lives, but burning them releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the air, and that increase in carbon dioxide might jeopardize life as we know it. Fossil fuels. Coal, oil, and gas are called fossil fuels for a reason. They are carbon-rich matter left behind by plants and animals that died millions of years ago. These plants and animals were buried deep underground before they could decompose, so decomposers never broke down the dead matter. Over millions of years, the remains of these plants and animals turned into carbon-rich fossil fuels: coal, oil, and gas. The carbon that was in the plants and animals when they died is still there. It's just part of the fossil fuels. When we burn fossil fuels in cars, factories, or power plants, carbon that has been stored in the ground for millions of years is released into the air as carbon dioxide. The carbon cycle. Earth is a closed ecosystem. There are many different regional ecosystems on Earth, but they all share one atmosphere and ocean. Very little matter escapes from the Earth into space, and almost none enters. Since almost no carbon enters or leaves Earth's system, and carbon isn't being produced or used up, the amount of carbon in the system does not change. If carbon is increasing in one part of Earth's system, it must be decreasing somewhere else. Although carbon rarely leaves Earth's system, carbon moves in a cycle within Earth's ecosystem. This cycle is powered by energy. Carbon cycles from biotic matter to abiotic matter and back again. This means that carbon spends time in the air, in the ocean, in the soil, and in organisms as it moves continuously through the ecosystem. Powered by energy from sunlight, photosynthesis moves carbon from the air and water into living things. At the same time, cellular respiration moves carbon from living things to the air and water. This continuous, consistent pattern of movement is called the carbon cycle, and it is essential to the survival of life on Earth. However, human activities are altering the way that carbon moves through the global ecosystem. The carbon cycle. The arrows in this diagram show the pathways that carbon follows as it moves around the ecosystem. The large black arrows show the pathways that naturally exist in the ecosystem. The large red arrow shows how humans can increase the amount of carbon in the atmosphere by burning dead matter like fossil fuels. As people around the world burn more and more fossil fuels, a great deal of carbon from deep underground is moving into the atmosphere. Carbon in one part of the system, abiotic matter, is increasing, and as a result, carbon in another part of the system is decreasing. In this case, biotic matter, which includes dead matter. Since the entire Earth shares the same atmosphere, changes in the level of carbon dioxide affect all ecosystems all over the planet. Impacting planet Earth. All the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is having many negative effects on the global ecosystem, and especially on the climate of our planet. Adding carbon dioxide to the atmosphere changes the climate and weather patterns around the globe in ways that make it hard for many organisms to survive. Increased carbon dioxide causes global temperatures to rise, makes ocean water more acidic, and changes weather patterns. These changes may increase the chances of extreme weather events like hurricanes and droughts, which affect humans directly as well as ecosystems and farms we depend on. By increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, we are gambling with our very way of life.